Hi, this is Scott Vaughn. I'm CMO of UBM TechWeb and part of the Create Your Next Customer team. Today we're here with Steve Daheb, who's the CMO and SVP of Blue Coat, and we're going to dive deep into how Blue Coat actually just went this year to be a private company, and what are some of the nuances about marketing as a private company versus a public company. And as a mid-sized company, how do you compete with the big dogs? I know a number of our marketers are in that situation. So Steve? Interesting year this year. Blue Coat went from being a public company to a private company. What does that mean for marketing? I've never really done that, or does it have any bearing on what you're doing?
You know, it's a great question. It's interesting because, you know, you view it as it's a change in the equity ownership of the company, right? But it's not really a change in how we approach the market, how we meet our customer needs, how we focus on the voice of the customer, what their needs are, what trends they're experiencing, which drives what requirements they might have, which ultimately lends towards what solutions are we going to deliver to help meet those requirements. So at the end of the day, none of that changes. There are some, you know, obviously when you're under the public spotlight, you kind of have that quarterly reporting, and to be honest, not having to do that every quarter is interesting. It does free up a lot of time from having to sit down and type that earnings script to really just kind of focusing on the customers.
We term, I guess, a mid-sized company, 1,000+ employees roughly, right?
Yep,
right around
exactly.
that. And so you compete security and cloud and especially web security,
Yep.
big networks. You're competing with a lot of large providers of technology.
Yeah.
How does the good, growing, fast, successful company compete with that big dog? What do you do?
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I actually think we have the advantage. I mean, when you look at some of the really big dogs, you know, they might be focused on multiple different product lines. I got networking here, I got storage here, I got security there, I got servers there, and you know, I think it allows us to really focus. You know, even in terms of some of the larger security companies as well. I mean, we're really focused on web security. I think there's a paradigm shift going on in the market when you look at mobility, which I think sets us up quite nicely. So that gets really exciting for us. When you look at our top 500 customers, that's like 17 million mobile device users right there, 400,000 plus branch offices where we may traditionally have not played in, but now with our cloud offering and the changing use case dynamic of the user, it really changes the game from us. It's no longer about securing the network, it's about securing you as the user. So we're really excited about the foundation that we have as a company, and ultimately, given the dynamics in the market, where that's going to take us moving forward.
It's interesting. It goes back to you really talk a lot about numbers and the opportunity that's out there and listening to the voice of the customer. How does that play out in terms of marketing? How does that play out in terms of being able to translate that when you're competing against the big dogs? Because they tend to be all over the place.
Yeah. It is. I mean, our approach to marketing is a little bit different. That might take on a little bit of my style as well. I mean, just, you know, engaging with these guys and talking with folks out there. I mean, you know, we're all relatively the same age, you know. I mean, there's certain things that, hey, we grew up watching Star Wars and Starship Troopers and playing video games and things like that. So actually it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's only so many times you can show somebody on a green grass, you know, filled with poppies with the cloud behind them on a mobile device, right? I mean, there's only so many times you can kind of do that. And so we actually kind of mix a little bit of pop culture and some kind of cool eye-stopping things with some really powerful, direct, hard-hitting messaging. You know, it's kind of worked really well for us, and I think has allowed us to kind of rise above the noise a little bit. So that's been exciting in terms of changing up a little bit how we communicate with our customers, and it is about understanding that audience as well. You know, when you have events like, for instance, we had Black Hat last week, where we were able to go in there and actually just meet with these folks one-on-one and have dialogue and kind of get to know them and have a sense of kind of, you know, what gets their attention, and kind of take that thinking back and apply it to your campaign creation, your messaging, your calls to action. That's working quite well for us. I mean, we've had some campaigns where literally customers will be like, "Can you send me that poster, please? I want to put that up on my wall. Oh, this is great," you know. Or so it's, you know, it's exciting to kind of take a fresh new approach to really how we get our fair share of attention out there.
So Steve, thanks for taking the time to share what you guys are doing at Blue Coat and your experience, the way you approach your customer, product, and market, and message is very unique. I know our marketers will find that very useful. So thanks again for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.